That you're with us here today again. I'm Charles Bwogi, your host for yet another riveting edition of the Enterprise Uganda Business Council programs. Of course, we anchored them at the beginning on how your business can survive the COVID-19 storm, weathering the COVID-19 storm. Charles, that was the motivation.
That is very true.
Exactly. But where we are headed, I think we found ourselves really dealing with the issues that businesses are contending with.
The real issues, whether COVID or no COVID.
Absolutely,
real issues, yeah.
Absolutely. So we're here every Sunday at 3 p.m. to actually talk about the issues that impact business, that affect business, and what you need to actually make that business work and, you know, stay operational. Like I said, I'm Charles Bwogi, your host. We are glad to be joined by, as usual, Charles. Charles, you can greet our viewers.
Good evening again, viewers, and I'm happy to be here again this Sunday.
That's Charles Ocici from Enterprise Uganda, the Executive Director. And today we have a special visitor. Again, I'll give him a chance because the bottom line, Charles, is to give people practical solutions.
Exactly.
Not just in name, but actually through the experiences of those that have lived it.
Yes.
Totally, totally. So please introduce yourself.
Yeah, good evening, viewers. My name is Gino. As you know, I'm from Otuke.
Okay.
Up country.
I love the confidence. As you know, is Gino. Well, today's topic is, I'm sure it sits at the hearts of very many of us, especially the young people, the youth that are in villages. Because still, much as we're seeing a number of our cities blossoming and growing, majority of our people still live in rural areas, or what you'd call the villages. So the topic we are tackling today is to give you tips on how you can transform yourself or move from a peasant youth with low education to a prosperous community change agent. That's what we're looking at, and that's what Mr. Jino is here to do. He's quite confident, that's why he's used to being known, because he's quite a change agent where he's coming from. Maybe you need to tell them where you're coming from.
My village is called Pokeni, a very unique name. In our language, when you say Pokeni, it's like if you're running mud, you run alone.
I hear you.
That is our village. So the parish is a thing.
Okay.
Urum sub-county, but I'm in Utuke district. Basically, my place is not very far from the town. When you are in town, you just drove like 2-3 kilometers, then you reach where I am. That is the village. But where the project is now, it is just 2 kilometers away from town.
Hold it right there, Mr. Gino.
Yeah.
Charles,
Yes.
before we bring in Mr. Gino here, I'm sure the number of viewers who missed, because I've been receiving a number of calls and messages, you know, the previous session. I think as usual, let's give them a recap of what transpired last time. And of course, beginning with what the mission of Enterprise Uganda is and why we're doing what we're doing.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Charles, and welcome, Gino, to this very important Sunday conversation with the public. And public, I want to say that this is your most authoritative Sunday platform and show on enterprise development. We share the skills that work. We showcase Ugandans who have walked the message. And as Enterprise Uganda, we have more than 120,000 people who have gone through our hands, and it's time to bring out those people and say, for all these periods that they have been practicing these messages from Enterprise Uganda, what has happened? Surely today is another interesting version of what has happened. But I want to tell Ugandans that please never miss these Sunday evenings. And it's co-sponsored by Enterprise Uganda, Uganda's premier enterprise development organization, Ministry of Finance, an agency of government that is tasked with sourcing resources as well as building the enterprise community. But also we have got the Insurance Association as part of the sponsorship, and more partners will be coming on board. Going straight to what we learned last week, I have a few very, very useful tips that came out. And I will start with the general 4. Then I'll go to those that were specific to the proprietor of Ebenezer, Mr. Chimba. The general 4 that came out, as we continue to interact with you in these Sunday afternoons, were the following. That many professionals are running businesses in their fields of qualifications, but have failed to scale them to significant enterprises due to lack of business skills. Ugandans' business skills can be taught. They are transferable, but they can also be lost. That's why you've seen some people who used to be very good, suddenly they are struggling. Point number 2, not everyone becomes an entrepreneur. That statement is correct, but wait for the second part of it. However, everyone can be an entrepreneur. What matters is to recognize that the biggest roadblock is the mindset to navigate the different stages of enterprise growth. Startup, medium size, nationwide, global wise. And that mindset can be built, it can also be killed. So that's why people that we thought were born entrepreneurs, suddenly you find they're struggling. And they struggle and never come back. If they were born entrepreneurs, why haven't they come back? Because their blood is flowing entrepreneurship. An entrepreneur can be built. That mindset can be built, but it can also be killed. Yeah. Number 3, supporting an established business brand like Ebenezer can play catalytic role in the economy through creation of quality jobs, internships, a seedbed for realization of local talent. Let us not just think about the micro, the people who are going into business. Let's make sure that those who have already scaled and they are steady on their path continue to be on that path of steadiness. Use these Sundays to interact with people who have practiced the skills we teach at Enterprise Uganda. Use these Sundays to pick the wisdom from best practice from a business coach who has seen an institution that started from 0, but now is a significant player over the last 19 years in this country. Specifical to the lessons from Ebenezer, from Mr. Chimba, these were the things that came out, but there were many. I just distilled the following few. Number 1, you have to love what you do to keep motivated amidst daunting challenges. Mr. Chimba had the following specific challenges. Number 1, to keep himself motivated, the thing that pushed him was the love of his country. And as he came through the love of his country, the following challenges came in. Locating a venue was a big deal. He had to pay a goodwill. Reagents were not many. He had to look for them. This fellow also had issues to do with people not believing in what he was doing. Number 2, the beginning of an enterprise or a game of an entrepreneur defies the wisdom of a structured business plan. Look at some of the things that were associated with this man's beginning. If you were to write a business plan, it would be a ridiculous document to read. What were some of the things from Chimba? Chimba was everything to his laboratory. He was a cleaner. He was the one taking the blood or the samples from the patients. He was a technologist. He was a director, a visionary. The market never believed in a private lab, meaning it was unviable. How do you put that in a business plan?
He was an icebreaker in that space.
Exactly. He relied on friends to cover areas where he lacked professional skills. How do you put that one in a business plan? Because you can't confirm that this friend will be available. Yeah. Number 3, on startup capital, be creative to deliver a solution. Just know which solution am I going to deliver. Be creative to reach that stage. How did Chimba do it? Salary savings. He employed his wife, whom he could afford to sometimes not to pay salary or partially pay salary, but made sure that she was committed to the game.
And had the skills.
Exactly, she had the skills. He used reusable containers. There are containers that can be used to pick samples. The only thing you need to do is to clean them. He said, I'll do this cleaning because my resources are limited. Then he started taking loans, starting from a friend, somebody who would believe him and support him. Then later, when the trust built up, he started getting suppliers credit. So this business of working capital, startup capital, people had better rethink it. These are the ways to get there in the beginning. Number 3, again from Chimba's story. Standing out in your environment is the cause for lack of great brands in Africa. Chimba's journey later became respected by the patients and by partners. Now, that could have stopped him from continuous improvement. And we told him when he came to Enterprise Uganda that that is the syndrome of failure to handle success. And to cure that syndrome, you need fiery ambition. And that takes me to the next point that Chimba picked after Enterprise Uganda.
Yes. Viewers, that's Chimba's story. We're trying to run some pictures of Chimba, a recap on the screen.
The next point, which is associated with what I've just said, intense ambition is one that sets you apart from the crowd. You need intense ambition because the crowd that you are outstanding in can easily make you become comfortable. But with intense ambition, you begin to go above that kind of comfort. As an owner of a respected brand, it was easy for Chimba to ignore the need to go for the grilling ISO certification with its associated annual audits. But he said, I'm going to go for it. Enterprise Uganda says scale and scale and scale. Never at any one time should you become complacent and satisfied. Next point. Once you have earned respect and admiration, let values be your strength, your forte. And if you look at the story and the submission from Mr. Chimba, he said his values rotate around two things: work ethics and honesty. And he says he will never break away from those ones. Next point. Do not limit your measure of success to padding the bank account with cash. How did that one come out? Chimba is committed to building the best talent despite the risk of the competition taking them away. He said, I will continue to build the best people I can build and let them be circulating and improving the entire sector as well as the country. Second last point, Mr. Chimba brought out this lesson. Luck is good, but plays only a small part in enduring success, only a small part. Every other day we all receive this luck, an opening. But if you do not get the other things that later came out, it doesn't help you for long. To stay the course and keep attracting more luck, in other words, high quality customers like Chimba did, Chimba embraced a combination of personal traits, dedication, skills enhancement, work ethics, building of his own team, taking 100% responsibility for his future. And finally, there was a lesson on Bubu. On Bubu, government should stock rarely used reagents that laboratory owners need and sell these to technologists at wholesale prices. And in the process, get most of the lab tests done cheaply in Uganda because local expertise exists and this expertise is sound.
I like the fact because he actually mentioned that if you look at the region, the number of Ugandan experts that are running some of these facilities across the region.
Exactly. So these were the kind of things that came out and attracted so many people who were professionals who said, if this is what's happening in our own country, we need to wake up and begin to champion the transformation of our own countries by creating brands that is scaled from micro to small, small to medium, medium to regional and then international. It can be done.
Charles, it takes humility and humbleness to really be doing well and then feel in your heart that I need help. Exactly. Because in most cases, we really, I mean, if you're there, especially with money, you feel you're actually the wisest man in that space. And the majority of people are telling you that. Exactly. And I've seen a number of people, when they reach that point, they even start to give advice, which is not bad. Yes. But they turn themselves into coaches and experts of some sort. Yes. But I think we'll get back to that. Viewers, once again, we have a gentleman, a guest from northern Uganda. He has mentioned this village. I can't remember the name of the village. But I still remember the fact that you can't be running mad and get followers.
Yeah,
A
correct.
madman has no followers. that will stick.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to share with us his story, and we're interested in especially you picking lessons from this. And like we said, we'll be here every Sunday to actually break down some of these issues. Now, you can be part of the discussion. There's a number on your screen. You can drop us a WhatsApp. At the tail end of the show, we'll also open calls, you know, to have that engagement. But sometimes we get overwhelmed by the people that want to be part of the discussion. So the WhatsApp can help us. So you can join us, question, comment using that WhatsApp number. Gino. Who is Gino? And I know you mentioned, you gave us a bit of a digest of who you are, but I'm sure our viewers want to get a full picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, Gino, I'm from northern Uganda. Part called Otuke. Otuke is a district. Most of people, when you come to Kampala and you talk about Otuke, they might ask, where is it? Where is it located? Most of them, they know that it's located in Karamoja. But no, it is part of Lango. Actually, it was splitted from Lira district. It is in the eastern part. Right. We bordered by a beam from the east. North is Agago. And we are there where most of the people think when you talk about Otuke, it's very hard to reach. But Otuke is too easy to reach. For me, when I'm coming to Lira, I always use less than 1 hour to reach Lira. Okay. So, Gino is a man that most of people of Otuke knows him for producing quality seedlings. Oh, okay. That's my business that I do. Also, it's a change agent in most of the projects that goes on. I used to interact much with community and do a lot with them. Okay. Yeah. So I'm Gino from Pokeni.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, break down for us a bit of your business. So you do seedlings, you're doing them at what?
The project is a commercial nursery. We started as a commercial nursery. Okay. And in the commercial nursery, we have some few other things that we have introduced, like poultry production. We have fish farming. We have piggery. And we're also doing horticulture, vegetable productions. So in the farm also, we have sales for seeds. We do sales for seed of vegetable and even trees. We do a lot of local seeds collection. And we sell to our partners.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So in terms of maybe scale of activity, you know, the level at which you're operating, you know, how would you rate yourself? How are you, how big are you, in other words? We're trying to find out this Gino man. You know that statement you said when you're beginning still stuck with me, you know. Yeah.
Now when you're rating me, I'm at a very good level.
Okay.
Very, very good level. Because I have attracted a number of districts in Karamoja, Tesho, Acholi, and in Lango also. Some part of people from Lira, they also come to my farm. Okay. So it is now a wide coverage, not just within the locality.
I hear you.
Yes.
What kind of seedlings are you into production?
We are doing actually we are doing vegetable seedlings. We are also selling vegetable seedlings.
Oh, okay.
We are doing tree seedlings like for timbers and fruits, and also ornamental trees.
Ornamental.
Like for fruits, we have jackfruits, and for us, we look at the quality one that can grow. As per now, we have what we call black gold, which is so good. It is good for the up country, and it is doing very well. We have avocado. We are trying to get the best variety that can do better there. And most of these things, because our nursery has lasted for some good time, it is now coming, because it was from 2013 up to today. Some of the seedlings that we gave out, it has already produced. So we know the quality of what we give out. And that's why our clients keep coming, because the quality of what we are giving. And most of our seedlings, when we give out, because Otuke is a unique place, some of people thought it is in semi-arid area whereby seedlings doesn't work. It is just a land for grazing and those kind of things. But no, we are now saying it's a place for planting trees. And almost it is now covered with some partners that are taking seedling from our site. It is now a bit covered. Tree planting is now too good there.
I hear you.
Yes.
I know we've looked at some of the pictures showing some of the things that you've done.
Yeah.
But I want you to add your voice to it. You know, some of the things that you've been able to achieve.
Yeah.
You know, the time you've been participating in this project, and probably a bit of the kind of people you support.
Okay.
Because actually, when you look at the picture that you see there,
Yes.
he has got a demo farm. But from the demo farm, then he begins to get customers. He needs to bring out that one. How do you use the demo farm?
Yeah.
And how do you then get the customers and build up the wealth? And what has some of that wealth done to you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
First of all, it is very hard to keep business running. As you see, when we talk about demo, people thought that, okay, demo is what you put and people come and pay money to see. But ours, we have said, no. Our demo is to attract the clients who gave us the business.
I hear you.
They come, they look at what we are doing, because first of all, Otuke itself, people thought nothing can come out from it. But we have said no. Like when you look at the pictures of seedlings, that's in our nurseries. You might find the place is now covered with forest. We pick some of the seedlings and we plant, and when the client is coming, we say, this is the tree seedlings that we pick from this area and we are planted here. So it is attracting a lot of people. Lot of money is coming now in the project.
Okay.
We don't get money for like the gate money, no. But we get money from the people who come and learn, then later they will go and spell. They put a lot of our name.
So the learning is part of the customer service.
Part of the customer
That's
service.
a good one.
Yes.
What kind of clients are you attracting? At what
That's
scale
very
are they?
key.
First of all, at first we used to do with local community, but we found it is very difficult to get some good money to pay other workers. Now, it has happened of this NUSAF. I need to appreciate the government of Uganda to introduce NUSAF 3. We have got a lot of money from NUSAF 3, whereby the beneficiaries of those NUSAF, CIGs, they come to our site and learn, then later they give us local purchase order. And we supply them with quality seeds. And of course, for last 2 years, we've been supplying NUSAF. And also, from the supply that we did to NUSAF group, it also attracted the Ministry of Agriculture, MAIF. I have a contract, the running contract for UCDA, Uganda Coffee Development Authority, which I'm now the supplier for the coffee of Otuke.
All the way from Otuke?
Yes. And also we supply the government projects and also NGOs. Like in Karamoja, as I talk now, we are doing supply of, we have done the supply for seeds of vegetable to the beneficiaries of SHAO. SHAO is an organization working in a beam and is supporting a lot of what? A lot of community. So we did a supply for the seeds of vegetable. And we are also doing a lot of training. As last week, I had a training which is running on for the beneficiaries of poultry. Because in the projects, they come and learn. So when the team for SHAO came in to buy these seeds, they learned that, oh, there is something here. There's poultry here. Because our poultry, we have one big cock, which is weighing around 7 kilos as per now.
A cock?
A cock, and when you go and weigh 7 kilos,
That's interesting.
you can go and weigh it. It's there.
I hear
So people think, yes, this is what we need to be given. Because we thought this kind of cock is just in Kampala. It's not there in Otuke. But when you go to Otuke, you will find that kind of cock.
It's a local chicken?
It's a local chicken.
Amazing. Very
Local
interesting.
chicken, yes.
Now, I'm tempted to ask how old you are, and I think Charles here, I want to be committing an offense.
No,
He's a
it's
gentleman,
fine.
clearly.
Because you know he's a young man.
Yes.
And the people watching are saying, that fellow looks like us. Let's just reconfirm.
Yeah. I'm 32.
Very
You
good.
see, it's still a youth.
That's an interesting one.
Yes.
Now, I want to understand how you got to where you are before I bring in Charles here. Because I know, you don't wake up one day and you start a nursery business, and you're not just supplying the local communities, but you're supplying not just government. Because sometimes when people hear that, you got a government contract, someone might think he has a godfather somewhere.
Exactly.
But when you have NGOs coming to buy from you, then it's something else. When you have the private players coming to buy from you,
Very true.
it is something else.
Yeah.
How did you get to that point?
It is a long way to go to that point. It has been a very, very big struggle to reach where I am. And I'm happy.
Okay.
I can enjoy the life now.
Please don't get too comfortable. The good thing I know you have a
No, I will tell you. First of all, where I was, I didn't know that I would reach this point.
Yeah.
But through Enterprise Uganda, it just put me somewhere. I was a carpenter who had never finished even carpentry school. I did a lot of carpentry work. Just, we call it grumbling. You struggle to get life because my father could not afford to pay the entire fees.
You stopped in which class in terms of formal?
Actually, secondary school, I stopped at senior 3.
Wow.
Then the technical section, I went for UJTC. I joined Junior 1, Junior 2. I was supposed to sit for UJTC, but I didn't sit because there was no money. So I went back to start doing the work for carpentry. And I was even a bit relaxed because that would, you know, when you get 7,000 per day, you feel you are very good by that time. But when I out of the training for Enterprise Uganda in Lira, that was 2012, August, I went. I didn't have even the money to go, but I rode my bicycle all the way from Otuke to come. So I attended the training, but I picked something from it, and I went home, and my hope, I raised it that, okay, I think I'll be somewhere if I put it in my art. And that is what I do.
I hear you.
I put myself that I should reach this point.
What was specifically in that training?
The training was all about saving. What I got most is saving. Putting too much interest of what you are doing and saving. And that is what I did. If I say this, most of the people, like the organization who supported me, they know how hard I was struggling. I joined many organizations who are paying me less money, but I don't care. But what I was looking at is reaching somewhere at a certain level. And of course, that is where I am now.
I hear you.
Yes.
Charles, at this point, what do we pick from Gino's story for the purposes of our viewers watching us?
I think the first one is that no part of Uganda is too remote or too low or too deprived to fail to raise a decent life for someone. You can be in any part of Uganda. Number two, no amount of initial failures, failing to finish senior 4, lacking capital, being left by dad to start fending for yourself can stop you from becoming a great person. Today, he is taking on supplies from agencies that work in terms of PPDA. UCDA does not just pick you at random. You fulfill specific criteria. Now, what has he done? He says, UCDA, I have coffee seedlings. I have also put some of these coffee seedlings nearby here for you to see the crop, the plant that came from my kind of nursery. I am selling what works. So he is not an agricultural person. He's not a forester. But now he has said, I'm going to do this nursery seedlings, get samples that people can see, go into poultry, have a sample of a bird or a cock, let people know what I'm selling. So he has been able to build credentials, skills out of interest. He said, love what you want to do. Get connected with it. Now, loving what you want to do, it doesn't matter whether you speak the best English or the normal English. It doesn't matter who were your parents, whether they never had 2 meals a day. It really doesn't matter. That love is key. Loving what you do and starting to do it and beginning to believe in yourself. This fellow took the message from Enterprise Uganda, which says, no entrepreneur ever walks that journey while doubting whether you'll make it or while waiting for somebody to come and pick you up. He shouldered it himself.
I get you. And I see consistency here because if you look at the Ebenezer story, passion comes number one. Exactly. And then you see the same, again maintained in this same story as well.
Very true. And if you remember the story of the young lady Grace?
Yes.
Grace with those kind of complications at the beginning, similar story.
Absolutely.
Self-belief.
And I think one of the problems we find with the men of our entrepreneurs is that they tend to give up a lot.
Very true.
And I think if you don't have enough passion to drive you to actually persist,
Correct.
it becomes a different story.
And
But,
if you might be able to tell us also, because it would be interesting, people are saying, you're dealing in seedlings, a demo farm, and you are getting some of these deals. What are some of the what's the evidence that shows that you have been growing and you have left the hand-to-mouth kind of life?
Absolutely.
Because
and we are going to get there.
Yeah.
But before that, there's something
Yeah.
you mentioned, which I really want him to talk about.
Yeah.
Because you don't wake up one day and qualify to supply
Yes.
a big agency. Because there are processes.
Correct.
And I know that's where a number of small businesses are knocked off.
Yeah.
They will ask you for tax clearance here. They will ask you for PPDA form here.
Yes.
And nowadays they are merged.
Yes.
Because you have to get clearance here and that kind of thing.
Yes.
Tell us, how was your experience trying to put your paperwork in order, or structure, in other words, or formalize your operation to be able to qualify to play in this space?
First of all, the qualification is what you produced. When you produce well, automatically people come and help you.
Yeah.
People have had to come and help you. And for this case, it was through the struggle for the coordinator of Operation Well Creation to help me to do all the necessary need. And James, the UCDA guy for Lira North, came in. Then they saw me always to meet this. And automatically at the end of the day, I got the certificates
I hear you.
to my nursery. It is not that everyone is supposed to supply this, but at least you need to qualify. And there are a number of things that you need to do to qualify to be a nursery operator, to supply UCDA, because UCDA need quality thing.
But it begins with doing the right thing.
The right thing.
And having the right quality.
Yes.
Yeah.
A bit related to that, of course, you can share with us before I bring in this question. I think Charles raises a very important
Yes.
issue there. What are some of the things that you've been able to achieve at your level? You
Okay. As per now, I've done some good achievement. At first, my dad gave me only 1 acre of land, which I built even in. But as I talk now, I have 37 hectares of land, bought using the money that I made from the sales.
Okay.
I have a very good office. Everyone, even the district officials, come and say, "What?
They don't want
This
to leave.
office-
They don't want to leave.
This office is supposed to go and stay there at the district." I have a very comfortable office, and I'm enjoying, because, first of all, people thought maybe when you have a diploma, you have master is when you are supposed to sit in that office. But no, that office is belong to me. Who have all the certificate in, because after doing all the things, I went to school.
Okay.
And I got some certificates, and others I have diploma
That's a good
in
one.
some level. So, I also have a home, a comfortable home, where I don't even think that I was going to be in that.
Dear viewers, those are some of the pictures of Gino's activities. And
I used to see that even coming to Kampala was a challenge to me. I didn't know that I'm going to reach Kampala. But through Enterprise Uganda has made me to reach up to Kampala.
from Otuke.
From Otuke. Not only I know even Kampala, now I can count myself among the team that stay in Kampala. Because even through Enterprise Uganda, I got even job, a very good job. I was a manager somewhere, and I was getting a very good money. Because Enterprise Uganda pushed me up. I also have a plot in town, which I'm doing a very good building. I don't want to hurry, but I have a plan for 5 years, and I will complete that building, and wherever going to Tuke will go and see that building. It's going to be a hotel. Even if you drive here to Tuke, you will leave Lira and go to sleep in Tuke and come back to Lira. That's my vision.
That's a good aspiration. I
So
love that.
We have many things. Yes, in my trading center, I have like a small shop. My wife is now running
Oh, okay.
that shop.
Ah, great to hear.
Yeah.
Now, I know you've not achieved that on a, it didn't come on a silver platter, definitely. What are some of the challenges you had to put up with to reach where you are? I know it's a journey and you're still moving on that journey. What are some of these challenges? But maybe before you come in, viewers, again, you can be part of the discussion. You can send us your WhatsApp message, either through any WhatsApp message through the numbers on your screen. For any question and comments, Of course, later at the tail end of the show, we'll again pick your calls. But there are a few ideas and pointers we can pick as we move along. Yes.
I have counted number of challenges. It is not just a challenge, but to me, I call it opportunity.
Yeah.
Challenge is opportunity to me. At first, I didn't have the working capital, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
From the work that I did first in past, I bought one IFA, only one IFA. And you understand, in the village, when you have one IFA, or a cow, or a bull, to sell off that cow, it needs you to call the whole clan. Clan leader to come and gather together, then they agree, oh, now, you go and sell.
Especially when you're a young man.
You're a young man.
Yes.
You bought something home and you wanted to take it off.
Yes.
It is very hard. But I put in my heart, I convinced my father, because I was still under my father.
Yes.
I convinced my father, saying, my father, I know I've struggled to do this, but I've got some special training from Enterprise Uganda. I can do a very, very good thing. And of course, I have a dream to do the tree nursery. Because by that time I used to do carpentry things, selling those. There is a cashier that we don't make it even big. You just use a small timbers and you make it and you sell at 7,000. In our language, we call it a rake.
Or rake.
Or rake. It is just a share.
Small thing.
Small thing. So I can struggle to get that. But I saved the money from the training that I got from Enterprise Uganda and I bought my IFA. Now, I bought this IFA at 310, yes. It was 290
At the time.
at that time. I sold it at 340.
And it made a difference of
But
about
my
50.
dad was saying, Gino, if you lose my animal, because wherever you bought home, it is ours now.
Oh, yeah.
You might not come back home here. You might go and start living somewhere. But I told my dad, no, Dad, let me go. Don't wish me bad, wish me good.
Yes, yes.
And automatically, I have started a small tree nursery, whereby people, again, from that training center, that's why I have confidence to call my name Gino. I was a mad passion to collect this bovera for sockets. You know these sockets, the warranty thing.
Yes.
I collect sockets to do the tree nursery, to pot. I put soil in that sockets. And somewhere in the middle of my business, it was not too much. It was around 700 seedlings. Some organization came in, like actually they are IUCN. I also need to appreciate them because they gave me explore.
Okay.
Explore me so much. So IUCN came in and said we wanted to support you in doing this business because they look all over in Urum sub-county and they fail to get somebody who is doing this business like me. That kind of business, which is tree nursery, because it's a unique business. Yes. So I call on 45 people to come and help me so that I can get that funding. And I don't know the procedure. They put me in there is a red, this shirt, this kind of shirt of mine, I like it. People just mistake red thing, but I like it. I'm very happy with the red thing. There was like a red car that they call project car. I was able to sit in the car. And then they took me to Lira. They've in the rent. I know Lira because I work in Lira, but I don't know issue of sleeping in a lodge or the kind of thing. I don't know the issue of hotels.
You just worked there.
Hey, IUCN paid for the accommodation. Then they bought for me potting papers, which I didn't know even. It was potting papers, but I used to use the Vivera for orange. So I went back with the small money that I had. Then we came together as a group, and you understand how to manage group is not easy.
The group dynamics.
It is not easy.
It's another world altogether.
Then we do the same business. We were just moving somewhere. But now jealousness coming. Challenges start coming in. Pop, pop. Now, at the end of the day, they said, Gino is stealing our seedling.
I hear you.
Gino, because I was picking now my 700 away of what is belong to the what? To the group. They say Gino is stealing our seedling. We no longer want to be with Gino in the project. Let him leave. We don't want. We are taking away the seedling because the project was in my home. We are leaving. And automatically in less than 1 week, Everything was taken, including my drum, including my wheelbarrow, including everything. My dad came in and said, I told you. Now you go and find where you are going to stay. Automatically, for 1 month, I disappear from home.
So everyone turns against you.
Yes.
My father turned very bitter about me. I
You
told
sold
not to
the
sell
cow. Now the thing is failing.
So I disappear from home. I went to town, but I need to appreciate some of the people who had to help. I had the passion. I don't know how I can call it. It's like actually it's my father. It's called a Bongboni. It's Natural Resource Department, Environment Officer for Tuke. By that he was acting environment, yeah. The guy gave me 40,000 and say, you start with life. And then again, I went back to the carpentry work. My art is telling me I should go back to the business of the what? Tree nursery, because one of my friend is doing it very, very well. So I put insisting to go back to that, and automatically I went up to this point. So I've counted number of challenges. And if I wanted to speak, because a person who collect Vovera from trading center wanted to speak what? You had no voice. If I wanted to speak, people could shout on me.
I hear you.
I can't speak, I can't make anything.
You can't
I
share
can't
opinions.
contribute
Yes.
in any way I cannot, because you know,
That's
I'm a mad person who is collecting Vovera is saying what?
That's a good one. You know, hold it there, because I want to bring Charles in here, you know, for quick learnings
Yes.
on that up to that point. But
Very
I have
good.
Arnold here. He's saying, I know that young man is my friend. Is very hardworking. That's Arnold from
Arnold from
Otuge.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
He's from Kenya.
It's from Kenya.
Interesting. Charles.
Excellent. Viewers, this is a very interesting submission from a very direct and practical young man from Otuge. A few quick things that come out of here. The journey to entrepreneurship is not a straight path. And the investment opportunities will go in terms of zigzag ways. The man went first with the limited resources he managed to get. He bought a cow. He went that direction. Then from there, he said, I'm now going to move from there and go to where my dream is. And what was the dream? Nurseries. When he gets to that decision, Dad is the first to say, it's not right. You can't sell what we are seeing in hope of you delivering something that we don't see. So you are going to be doubted. And the man had to believe in himself. Unfortunately, as you could see from the story, indeed Daddy's doubts or worries manifested. He went into a group, and group dynamics are difficult.
Yes.
Nobody taught them how to be in a group. They just told them, be in a group.
Yes.
In the group, people are saying, you are moving faster than us. And in the process, jealousy came in. And as jealousy comes in, Daddy sees everything being removed from the compound. And he tells his son, my son, you've seen? I told you, you're going to waste the money from the animal. The learning there is that the journey you start as an entrepreneur has got so many challenges. Even your very own will be doubting until results begin to change. And then the biggest asset you can invest in is yourself. If this man never believed in himself, he was finished. Everything was clear. And then when it came to now taking off again, he was using resources associated with rubbish, waste material. How do you go to drinking places and picking the empty sockets and using those to start getting your potting materials for the seedlings? But that's what he had at his reach. In other words, the journey of an entrepreneur, you must disassociate yourself from all glamour and receive ridicule and avoid the so-called protecting your image. Just keep on working and trying to bring the right results.
Thank you very much, Charles. Viewers, I have, and I think this will come to you, Charles, because there's one of our viewers here who is raising a very important thing, and I think you need to help him. Because he's saying he started a clinic during around before COVID-19, just around that time. Actually, before. But when COVID happened, things turned the other way around. He can barely make 5,000 shillings a day to feed himself and to also meet the expenses. So he's wondering, how can you help him?
Right.
Yeah. And then someone from Somalia here is asking how he can get in touch with Enterprise Uganda. And of course, there's a viewer who is asking how they can get the clips. we're going to be sharing the links, and I think be on this show next Sunday. We should have all those links up,
Very
so
true.
that people can keep looking at them.
Yeah.
Because technology has helped us nowadays.
Very
you can
true.
go online and then access these clips.
Yeah.
We'll share where you're going to get those clips so that you can keep updated on the issues that we are discussing here.
Yeah.
On that note, viewers, we'll take a very short commercial break. Don't go away. We're still having quite some good pointers coming out of the interface this evening.
It's party time, it's fun time. Do what makes you smile, it's fun time. Just a sip on it makes me wild. Just a sip on it calls my mind. Fun time.
Fun time in a variety of flavors like orange, the mouth-watering melon. Sip on the tasty mixed berries and have a taste of the amazing apple.
It calls my mind. Fun time, fun all the time.
A product of Harris International.
The entire population will put on fabric masks, which are good and very protective. When getting out your mask, you must ensure that you have sanitized or washed your hands with soap and water. Now, when you pick out your mask from the safe place, you hold the loops and you flip it over. Make sure your nose, your chin are properly covered. Do not share masks, and do not pick any mask that you find dropped on the way or anywhere in your surrounding. Avoid buying masks where people are allowed to try on and return.
This message is brought to you by Ministry of Health, supported by Precision Media, UNICEF, World Health Organization, and USAID.
You don't have to look any further. Get online and you'll get any property.
It's all about joinery. How best do you give a tree a very good second life?
Because there's already development happening around.
Say, for example, carpets, pick luxurious carpet and you say, I've got to have a carpet wall-to-wall in my house, but we're a hot country.
Welcome to the Property Show, where we make real estate sense.
Well, viewers, thank you very much. We're happy that you're still here with us. This is the Enterprise Uganda Forum, and we are tackling practical business, not actually tackling, but sharing practical business solutions. How do you build a business that can last? Of course, like we always say, it's even a tired line that Ugandan businesses die or collapse. Is it there before seeing their first or second birthday?
Exactly.
And that kind of thing. So it's one of the things we're trying to undo. But of course, it doesn't happen by accident. As Charles has already mentioned, there's a lot of mentorship that one needs. Business acumen is a good thing. Some people are born with it. But if it is not guided, again, you may not see much happening out of it. Yeah, so Gino, I can see you've had everyone deserting you.
Yeah.
And, everyone is running away. So how do you turn that around and stay on track to get where you are today? And then what happens? Do they come back at some point?
Yes, that question is good. This is one thing. You need to have what you want to do. You have to have a vision. And even if what happened, you don't need to go back. You need to move ahead. Even if everyone ran away from you, you need to continue moving. You need to keep moving. After all this kind of thing, including the organization, I'm not talking about what did happen bad. For them also, they ran away from me. But later they came back. Because what they took away from me, it's got collapsed. The entire projects dies like the tree nursery dies.
These are your former colleagues whom you were working with as a group.
Yes, they took the seedlings, but they don't have that. And they, I was the brain behind the business.
Yes. So they didn't know that it actually goes beyond just having the seedlings.
They think died. So the organization came back, and I said, there is no problem. Let's move on. And automatically, through that, they took me very far. They fly me away to Kenya.
Okay.
And I was happy to see Kenya doing other things, and it was my first time to cross Bale, but I passed.
You became international.
Yes, and I've learned more. Okay. So we became friends. Those one who ran away from me, they came back to me.
Okay.
And up to today, we are just there. And for me, I told them, when I forgive you, I forget.
Yeah.
I don't just keep bringing things that is not going to develop me. No. And that is me. And all, of course, there, even if you touch me today, tomorrow, you will come back and you'll be my friend.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's business, it's nothing
business
personal.
Move, nothing.
I hear you.
It's business.
So what are some of, because I know it was challenging to actually have a number of people deserting you and that kind of thing, and those are some of the challenges people face in business.
Yes.
Now you're back, you've been able to do what you've done. What challenges are you contending with now as an entrepreneur today? Because I know even success alone can win you, a good share of other issues to deal with.
Yes.
Yes.
First of all, we have the challenges of how can I call it? The work, people to come and work.
The work ethics or something?
Yes, something like that way. At first, the project was locally. It was just looking as a local project. But now, the technical thing came in, whereby me alone I cannot handle because I had to run up and down to look for the fund to support the project. So there, it did me to bring the team who are good, like an agronomist, who can handle this. And of course, getting an agronomist is not easy. Because, first of all, the number of people thought when you are going to up country to do the work, you need to earn a lot of money, by which the projects alone cannot raise the money to pay the what? The salary. So I had to look for the people who have art like me to go and help. And automatically from that, I got a very good boy from Oima. He's a Munyoro, and he's now very comfortable because in the project we have everything.
Wait a minute. I really like your approach to this because, I'm looking at Mr. Gino from Otuke.
Yes.
And, with the background you've already shared with us.
Yes.
But then you have that courage.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether to call it exposure as well. To say, let me cross and go the other side.
Correct.
As long as I'm able to get quality that side.
Correct.
I think that's quite powerful, Charles.
It is. First of all, he's not a person who you say he's an agronomist himself. For him, he's a practitioner. Then it begins to learn that there are people who have specialized in this kind of crops or plants that I'm dealing with. They are called agronomists. Then he says, where do I get one? He tries to get one. They're telling him the price is a bit high. He doesn't lose heart. He keeps looking. And when he's looking, he's not simply saying, I'm looking for Lango, somebody from Lango, to come and help me. He's simply saying, well, I'm looking for a competent person. That is extremely key for a young man. Because there are many relatives within Lango who would have said, please, why are you looking for somebody from Hoima? But he's saying, no, I have a customer to serve. Whoever can do it, wherever he's coming from, whichever language he speaks, I want him.
I hear
extremely, extremely
quite powerful. And I want to ask you this, because I know government has come up with a number of initiatives to support young people, especially at the grassroots, in areas where you sit.
Yes.
As a person who has experienced this, who is on the ground, what do you think is lacking in these programs, to really make many young people benefit from these programs? And I'm saying that not to bias you, But the fact is, we've seen these programs struggling to actually turn around the number of beneficiaries. Yes.
First of all, it's a good question, but it's easy to answer. Very easy to answer. At first, there is something that I need to put here.
Yes.
The art of doing the project, it is not just very easy, but through the training that we normally have, you need to be aware. That is government. Government should be aware. And people that they are going to select should be desire. They should have art.
And a passion.
The heart and passion.
Then knowledge of what they are going for.
Yeah.
Ability to do it. Then number 5 is reinforcement. Reinforcement come when government has given you entire fund.
Yeah.
But all these 5 things that I've counted is there. You are good to go. The projects that are failing, mostly what I can say very well, it's wild pea. Youth livelihood. For the youth, it is because when they come, maybe other officials go to do the tour. They go to Masaka and they look at maybe somebody's rearing pigs. Then for them, they will say pig is doing well because with those stories, the benefits that the passion is getting.
Yeah.
So they are most of things that they do, it's like copy and paste. They wanted to copy from here, then they go and paste. Yet they don't know how difficult it is for somebody to raise pig.
The nitty gritty,
the
the detail.
knowledge. Very good.
Now, it's reached a point where these youths need to be guided on enterprises selection. And automatically when you list to me the enterprise that is there, that if you don't take this, we shall not fund you. Or I will run for that.
Yeah.
But running to that, it doesn't show. It doesn't come up. And automatically, most of people run away from the business. Now, the government had to do a lot of software. Like giving this of Enterprise Uganda to do a lot of training on this. Getting the technical people who has the knowledge, train this youth before disbursement of any fund, so that this youth can go on what they know.
I love the software part, Charles.
Yes.
Because I think we tend to put a lot of emphasis on the hardware.
Yes.
Which is structures, which is...
Yes, and handouts, and yes, appear the pigs. He has put it very plainly. He said, raising a pig has got technical skills. After you have raised a pig, you need business skills to be able to sell that pig. So let's not just assume that these young people here are automatically ready to do what you've told them to do. He has also touched on something to do with the enterprise selection. It's okay for government to say, this is the broad area we want to go to. But it is your responsibility to confirm that you want to go there. And then once you have said, I want to go there, technical skills to support them along the way. He has gone all the way to fight it out on his own, to the extent now that he can hire an agronomist on his own from Hoima. And now the agronomist is resident in Otuke.
That is quite powerful.
It is.
Because you don't sit an agronomist in Otuke
if
he doesn't see that vision and where you headed. Powerful, powerful. Viewers, this time now you can be part of the discussion. I want to open the calls now. If you have any question, comments, please just go straight to the question or comment you want to make. Hello? Hello, you're live on NTV. Give us your name or question or comment, please. Sorry, I think I've lost that. I'll pick another caller. Hello? Hello? Oh, I think I seem to have a jam on the line over there. But Charles, on WhatsApp, I have a couple of questions here for you. Because someone was saying, okay, very good and educative program. Would like to know how Gino has inspired the youths in his business. Hello. But as you're answering that, let's pick another caller. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Bwogi.
Hello?
Good evening to you.
Good evening. You're live on NTV.
I'm Ismail from Tiana.
Yes, from Itiana. Please raise your voice. We can't hear you well.
I have a question.
Okay.
I'm a young man of 24 years. I get
Volume.
Hello.
Volume, please. We can't hear you quite well. You're quite low.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm a young man of 24 years.
Sorry, Mitiana. We can't hear you quite well. I think there must be a problem with your phone. So, Gino.
Yes.
Before I get back to the calls, yeah, someone here is wondering how you've helped the youth. But as you're attempting that,
Yeah.
I know, because I see a bit of charisma as well
Yeah.
in you. And that can be very tempting for, you know, the politicians. I'm sure you've already received a bit of courtship on whether you can be a councillor, an LOC 5-man, or an MP. How are you handling and reconciling all this, of course, as you also trying to inspire other young people?
You see, at first, I need to see that all the youth from my area and outside the area, actually in Uganda, are coming up with these ideas.
Yeah.
They are to build the ideas so that they should not leave. Because what I've seen, most of our youth, they enjoy very little thing. When you give them 1,000, they say, yes, this is the what? This is the passion. But to me, I'm saying, no. If I give you the knowledge, you go and do it. Go and explore. Yeah. And this is what I'm doing. Okay. All the time, I need you to come and learn from the farm so that they can go. Even I'm supporting some of the youth. I train them. I give them what to go and do. Just last week, I was giving a group of women some good number of seeds to raise, vegetable seed. Because I look at our area during this time, people have started saying it is a dry season, whereby you just need to go and drain, do what? But me, I'm saying, no, this dry season is time for you to make money.
And I think it's a very good one, because I have someone here from Nsanja, Pia Yasito, is wondering how you're managing climate change and issues of dry spell, sometimes it doesn't rain and that kind of thing.
Okay, like people keep coming to me, asking me, why don't you go and help us? Yeah. We are dying, we are like this. Yes, I said, okay, now I'm running for a campaign. I need to go for a councillor, sub-county sub-councillor to the district. And that is the position I am in.
Okay.
I need to change the life of youth. And I'm going there just one time. Yeah. And automatically, if I can manage to change the life of 2,000 youth within the parishes that I'm going to run, it's so good. One thing that I don't like when I go for my campaign, the first question that youth always ask is, can you afford to give us football?
Okay.
My answer is no. I cannot give you a football when your pocket is empty. And this is what I'm going to appeal to youth. Yeah. When you are in a group, yes, you can go for football, you can go for matches, yes. But please ask something which is reasonable. Ask somebody who is going to ask vote from you. Can you establish for us a project? Yeah. That would make sense. This system of buying you a ball today, then they abandon you when they do the voting, they don't come back to you, is not good. I'm a youth, and I'm going to appeal to all youth in Uganda. This is a time for campaign. Everyone is coming with their lies, and they will lie for you. I'm going to put you in heaven. No. The only heaven that this politician can put you to is to set for your projects, support you, follow you, and see the success.
Very good.
That is the only thing that you can do.
Thank you, Gino. I have someone here is asking for your number, but I think you'll share that number at the end. Charles, I have a number of, again, responses for you here. Someone from Somalia is wondering how they can get in touch with Enterprise Uganda. Then I have about 5 people asking me how they can be part of your training. They are running small businesses. I think one has a grocery. There's one who has a clinic. It is struggling because of COVID-19.
Very true.
Yes. How can you help them?
For all the viewers who are witnessing and seeing what we share every Sunday here, I want them to know that whatever stories that you are seeing here, Enterprise Uganda can transfer those skills to you. No matter the size of your enterprise, you've seen a big Ebenezer, you've seen a young entrepreneur like Gino coming in. All of you are part of what we do at Enterprise Uganda. And I gave the email last time, charles.ochichi@enterprise.co.ug. Our telephone number is 0312 382 100. Reach us on those phones, reach us on that email. You can also use info@enterprise.co.ug. The moment we are over with the limitations of COVID-19, we have a range of training solutions, mentoring solutions for every person who is into business or wishes to go into business. And Enterprise Uganda will do exactly what has happened to all the people we keep bringing here, to you as an individual and even to you as a group. And I also wanted to just pick some of the key learnings that we picked from Gino when he had to separate with his friends. We normally tell people that when you're in a partnership, learn the 3 R's when it is time to separate.
And actually on that note, Charles,
Yes.
you're answering someone's question who's exactly asking about group dynamics.
Yes.
And sharing his experience here, leading a mushroom growers group.
Correct, correct.
And how things went. So, yeah.
Yes. We normally tell people that there are 3 R's when you are in a partnership and it has not worked out. Do not go for name calling. Do not go for blaming anybody. The first R is respect yourself. Don't get into that cheap thing of name calling. Because the moment you start doing that, you hurt yourself and you take too long to recover. Number 2 R is...
You may never recover.
Yes, because you want to keep on uttering all types of things on the other people.
Yes.
The second R is respect the other party also. There must be something they didn't know that caused them to behave the way they did. You can see when Gino separated with his friends, they later learned and said, this Gino man was right. Let's go back to him. They didn't know why Gino was doing things the way he was doing. The third R is take 100% responsibility for the outcome. You have separated. Maybe there's something you should have done, but you didn't do it. Maybe there's something those people should have also given you to pick up. You didn't take initiative to pick up such a thing. So take 100% responsibility. If you follow those 3 R's, separating will take place, but you move on faster.
I hear you.
And then over time, you don't know when you will cross your path again.
Absolutely.
He's a young man. The other people are almost, all of them are back to him.
And on that note, I would like to ask him, because you know, he shared and said in his position when he was still collecting those Waraja Boveras,
yes,
he couldn't give opinions.
Yes.
Are you an opinion leader today? And maybe also an appendix to that. How are you now managing to put together, because you're working with people, and probably some of them have come back. How are you managing the group dynamics now, building on what Charles has told us?
First of all, I was thinking to prove that I was in a very, very right way. First of all, I did not criticize anyone. I said everything that happened, it's happened. I had to look for the way of moving ahead. Now, most of people come near me, and I've appreciated them coming. And I will keep appreciating them coming. But in my mind, I now know that if I'm sending a youth out, somebody who has come from me, I will give that passion all the challenges that I passed through. And I tell the passion to take heart. Because when you start taking back what they say, actually to me, when I got money from the seed sales, I sell a lot of seeds. Another name came in. Another name came in. That I'm doing child sacrifice. Why am I getting right very, very fast? Most of people would fear me. If I go to my village, you find people say, you need to take care of your children.
Because
something is happening here we don't know. I ask myself, what is happening? I didn't know. By that time, I couldn't sleep.
So they can't wrap their minds around the fact that...
But to clear it out, those one who talk about me, I kept talking to them, telling them. No, it's all about persevering. I moved the night to look for business. I can cross from Otuke to Gulu, Arua. I come to Kampala, I go eastern, I go all the angles. And by the way, as I talk now, I have friends in Uganda. Border Congo, I have friends. I have those kind of Karamoja have friends. Those kind of Kenya have friends. I've moved in all Uganda to look for money.
Yeah.
So the group, yes, you can be in group. But as Charles said, the 3R is what is good in managing group.
I hear you.
People could talk bad about you, but when you are a chairperson of that group, you are a treasurer or a secretary, please, it is you who is going to lead the group where the group is supposed to go. When you go in a wrong way, the wrong direction, automatically the group will go into wrong direction. But just stick on what you wanted to do.
Briefly, are you having any of your members, you know, family members, as part of your business? And what roles do they do if they are?
At first, I used to have son to my brother. Is my son in the business. But I got number of challenges coming in because you find even the misuse of the resources was too high.
By the son?
By the son.
Okay.
And I didn't want to just say, you go away. I managed to get, that is why I struggle.
That can be a very tough political question.
Somebody from outside to come and take over administrative way.
Oh, yeah.
I have an administrator who is that guy from Oyima. And it's they want to put the thing right.
Yeah.
I have another gentleman assistant from Pader, who is an actually man. And young boys who are working, they are there. I had a very big challenge last year. Was it last year? Where I brought one lady from Soroti and one lady from Beam. Now with this low education where people doesn't know where I've gone and get my papers from, somebody came in and say, you're a diploma holder. Now you're working to the farm of somebody who has never reached even P7. So automatically when somebody tell you that way, you're working in a certain thing and you don't have art, you run away. And automatically those ladies, they ran away. But later when they ran, they realized that those people were just having that difference between our home. There was just a different misunderstanding because we are there at the same bracket, same age. I'm growing faster than them. So they started coming back, but me, I said, no. I think the best thing is you to come back, and we went to that man who said he can employ you and employ you. That is the best way to do it.
I think that's a good one. Charles, and I love this story.
Yeah.
Indeed, someone here is telling me and is sending us a message. They didn't leave the name though. He's saying that it's a good lesson because many people think that to be best up country is a sign of failure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also not to have a smartphone, a master's degree, and that is a sign that, you know, it's a terrible indictment on your chances of success in life.
Very true.
And he's saying this is a very good testimony to the fact that all that is a fallacy.
You know, people have always used the statement that the beginning doesn't matter. But then you need to ground that statement with real practical examples of who have really said, that's how I began. And these fellows are many, they're everywhere. But we tend to ignore the stories. Now, look at him now having issues on recruiting good people.
Yes.
Somebody is coming from Abim, somebody is coming from Soroti, and has got more papers, and then the relatives are saying, you are going to go and be employed by a young man with no degree. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Then that begins to work on the psychology of your employees.
Yes.
You can see how tough it is to be a business person.
It is.
And that's why we keep telling people that, please, the moment we push anyone, any young person, any individual into business, the dynamics you need to master to stay the course are numerous. Enterprise mentorship, enterprise training are integral to the journey of an entrepreneur from the very beginning until they're out of this planet.
Very powerful.
And as a country, we need to exactly do that.
Someone here called Kwagala Samuel is wondering. First of all, he's touched by the story of selling the heifer.
Yes.
So he's wondering how you manage to, you know, let me just put it as he has put it, how you manage the funds, outputs and inputs to help you keep moving. right from that stage?
Okay. As in my first statement, I said Enterprise Uganda has given me a tip of expansion. We call it expansion. Even in the north, we call him expand. You expand, nyai.
Nyai.
Nyai. When they say nyai, it is expansion. A small things that you have, you need to take heart. You don't just go and eat. You save. Saving is the key factor in the business. When you don't do saving, automatically you are running out of the business. So I do a lot of saving. I do a lot of local collection of the resources. Where needs local grasses, I go and cut myself. Today I'm smart. But the way I was, I didn't have gumboot. I used panga to cut the grasses. Those are the kind of things that I used to do. So most of our youth thought that you need to get 1 million as a starting capital. But I'm saying, no, the capital is in your brain. I can even come and give you 1 million now to go and do the business. And I've done. But you will fail.
I hear you. I think that point is made. Charles, I have one of your beneficiaries here. He's all the way from Bale, called Hilary Madoi. He's saying he attended your training.
Yes.
He had only capital of 400,000 then.
Yes.
And he has now expanded into other businesses and is worth over 40 million.
Wow.
Hilary Madoi from Bale.
Good. Brilliant. And Hilary, please reach Ocici on phone 0772 699 808. I love to hear people like you.
Very good. Now, Gino, so at this particular moment, what are some of your dreams? Where do you want to be? What are your aspirations?
First of all, what I'm looking at is to see that I wanted to see the entire youth within my community okay. I wanted my youth to be okay. And this is what I'm telling them. I'm running for this position to see that I put you in a good position. I don't need to be good me alone. I wanted you, because I passed through all these challenges. I wanted to put you, at least you will come to the ladder of getting rich too. I don't want you to go and jubilate over, because what happened, you, the fellow youth, whatever small they have got, they used to drink. That is not good. I wanted to see that you have project. Yes, you can drink small, but you have some project that is going on.
That is going on.
Yes. Two, I wanted to see that my family are living good life. The entire family are living good life. Not only me, parent, all my parents, grandparents, and brothers are living good. And if I'm there, I know everything could work better. And the entire district, I wanted, as I speak now, I'm just appealing to you, don't overgo to Masaka, to where to go and learn. You come and join our hand together so that the people of Masaka also come all the way to Tuke to come and learn from there. I am happy because last time the people from Napax, they came to learn from the farm. It was your initiative, the district initiative. Please, let's come and join our hand together so that we see that other people also, because I wanted to bring Otuke up on a certain point.
I love that. Charles, you know, many a time when people make it, they want to be the only ones.
Yeah.
And they tend to enjoy, you know, those statements where they say, before Charles comes, don't touch anything. Because he's the man. But here, you see, Gino's story is saying, no, I cannot do this alone.
Very good.
I shouldn't be the success story of Otuke alone.
Very good. You know, a great person, or a person who is really creating transformation in our society, must recognize that your own success is premised on the success of the community where you are. He's talking about finishing a hotel. Who will sleep in it? If these fellows are poor, they cannot afford a room, they can't afford a meal, that hotel will not be meaningful. But the moment he begins to create a dynamic society, each one earning something, he is safeguarding his own wealth base. Because a wealth base depends on a buying, strong, consuming population. So any great leader who wants the best for his own people must recognize that it is in your own interest to build others in such a way that they're able to generate resources, which resources they spend on getting improving and high quality solutions. But there was also something that he brought out, which was very, very key. He said that one of the biggest principles that he learned was to say that save and expand. And if you read the book of Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Kiyosaki, he said nobody should ever dream of becoming a success story in the private sector if you've not mastered the art of saving and investing so as to expand. If all your expansions are premised on somebody giving you money, or you go into a bank and then that's the only time we say expansion, your expansion is not solid, is not rooted.
I hear you.
Very, very, very key.
Very powerful.
And he has picked it very well.
It comes out quite well. I have Raymond from Matuga. He's actually asking you, Charles, what does it take to join Enterprise Uganda? I think this is a question you have to keep repeating.
No, we will keep on the, but one, I want to say first and foremost that I'm happy Ugandans want to succeed. And Ugandans want to do it the tough way, which is the practical way.
Yeah.
The institution called Enterprise Uganda is here to do exactly that. The moment COVID is out of the way, we want Ugandans to reach the institution from the telephone numbers I gave earlier on, from the emails I shared earlier on, from the WhatsApp groups that are numbers that have been shared. Reach Enterprise Uganda. We're on plot number 38 Lumumba Avenue. We will try to reach as many parts of this country as we can with the resources available. The stories you'll be hearing and learning from this platform every Sunday are stories that we build and stories that can be built across the country.
Talking about building stories, I have Atanas Buyondo. Atanas Buyondo is a lecturer at Makerere University Business School.
Yeah.
And he's saying, I propose you develop DVDs for young people. I think such programs should be part of the curriculum if entrepreneurship is to flourish.
Again, Buyondo, a brilliant suggestion in there, and we are going to keep on improving and bring a diversity of ways to educate the Ugandans on how to acquire the skills. This Sunday program, we never used to have it. Today, people love it. People are picking a lot of lessons, not just the young ones, not just the old ones, everybody. And the stories we are going to keep on bringing will cover everybody. Nobody will be left out. Next Sunday, we may be having another lady. And then the other person, you will see where we'll be going to. The entire country is on board. Our portfolio of people who have tackled and handled 121,000.
Very good.
And they're all dying to come and see and share what they have been able to do.
And
like
I like
that young person from, was it Mbale?
Yes.
Who said, I started from 400,000.
Yeah.
I am now at a wealth portfolio of 40 million. If you looked at the story of Lino here, Gino, his wealth today, I will be humble, but I will say it's not less than $500 million.
I hear you.
He started with hardly a cow. And even the cow where the dad was quarreling, what did you do to the dad about the cow later? Maybe you better tell.
I got numbers of animals. Numbers of cows was bought, and it is there.
To just make daddy say, you know what, you're quarreling in the beginning.
And my dad, actually,
protecting our family treasure.
Yes.
My daddy is now very, very happy for me.
So you can see.
Yes, I paid school fees for my brothers. I do a lot of things for him. He's very, very happy.
And you have a visitor here from Serere. He's saying, it's David. He says he knows you very well. And he's telling me to inform you that he's going to be your visitor within a pretty short time.
Thank you.
Very good. Charles, we are coming to the tail end of our interface today.
Yeah.
One, I like the fact, what you've alluded to, the fact that we're having people from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
And entrepreneurs, you know, drawn from different activities and at different scales. Because you see, like what you mentioned, someone out there is seeing Gino here and is saying, if Gino has done it,
exactly,
why can't I do it?
Correct.
Yeah. And then we've also brought the big players who have been around.
Yeah.
And of course, they have a lot of experience, a wealth of experience.
Very true.
Which you're not going to find in textbooks and that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yes. Just give our viewers a bit of a digest what we have in stock for them coming.
I think what I want to say is this. Number one, watch every Sunday afternoon. We are going to be having stories that will connect with you. There is hardly any experience that you've gone through as an individual in terms of attempting to do business or investing that this huge portfolio of Enterprise Uganda's clients have not gone through. Number two, as an institution that is doing nothing but building entrepreneurs, we've crafted expertise that will take care of the different shades of challenges entrepreneurs will go through. But number three, I want people to recognize this. An entrepreneur is not fixed by one interaction. You can't create a Gino by just saying, Gino, do this one thing and that is off and done. You've got to stick with a person for a journey that's going to be demanding along the way. And as a nation, as a country, we need to now appreciate that these people can be built. We need to now go to what we call DDI, domestic direct investors. They're here. And in a short time, this fellow will now be the FDI to DRC, FDI to Southern Sudan. But let's build them as DDI initially as a country because we have the talent. This country is the most enterprising country in terms of starting businesses. Let's start from there and make sure that whichever business that's started must flourish and begin to have multiplier effect and benefit across the country.
Thank you, Charles. Gino, what would be your last word today to Ugandans and to Otuke?
First of all, I wanted to appreciate NTV and Enterprise Uganda to bring up this thing. It is helping everyone. I'm saying, youth, this is time for you to have a change in your life. Change starts from you. No one is going to come and change your life. That is number one. Two, I'm also going to appeal to my fellow politician because I'm not a politician. Let's have an art of helping our youth. Let us not run away with the balls, what to give this youth. Let's come up with the projects that can support the youth in Uganda. One thing that I learned from somewhere is that when youth got a lot of money, managing them is very hard. But I'm saying no, I have something. But managing me is very, very easy. Very, very easy. When a youth have something, you are not going to have pressure in your work. And I would say Otuke district, let's come together. Let's team up. My plan is to have a farm. That farm, I wanted to grow it to the standard whereby we can produce a young youth from there to help. I know big challenge in Uganda is that most of our youth are demanding to go for PhD, doctorate, and those kind of things. But a doctor, somebody who has PhD, will never go and do the business like the way we are doing. It is these dropouts that you see in Otuke who are going to change the society. It is those people who are child mothers. I'm looking at child mothers. I'm looking at those dropouts, which you know we have been in a big challenges. Let's bring them in the farm. We shall train them and they are going to help the nation. And I don't want to forget to say to my team, because my teams are going now for my campaign, I would appreciate them. Keep doing the work. We are going to help the youth in our leadership.
Very good.
Thank you.
Some viewers want your number. I have about 10 of them.
I have a WhatsApp number, which is 0775 462862. I also have a telephone, which is 0394 005454.
Thank you very much, Gino. Charles, as you wind up, your thoughts. Someone from Kawala here is wondering, probably you can also include this. How can someone save when they're earning so little? How can they go about it?
Very briefly, whenever you say you are earning so little, and then you are thinking that you cannot manage to save because you are earning so little, then you ask yourself, there are people who are earning 5 million, they're also saying they can't save. You now wonder, what's the problem? The issue here is the consumption side is also within your own reach. If you want to eat food and the money is not sufficient, just recognize that the food you're eating is proteins, carbohydrates, fruits. Now, if you cannot afford proteins, which is fish or beef, go for beans. You get your proteins there. If you cannot afford Carbohydrates, which is rice and macaroni, go for posho and millet bread. The moment you go to the expenditure side, reduce it to fit within what you can afford for that time. There are people with no money, like the one that somebody is saying earning so little. There are many without earning. They are alive. They have managed to adjust. But the most important thing is, as you adjust your expenditure and you make some saving, where did you invest it? That is the only way you upgrade yourself from that very narrow bracket of narrow expenditure and narrow earning. Where did you put the little saving you made? It will lift you off slowly by slowly and you'll succeed.
Thank you very much, Charles. Dear viewers, once again, I'd like to thank you for being part of this show. I've been your host, Charles Bwogi, but we will be sharing all the links of the shows that we've had. This is our 8th show, and we're still continuing. So you'll be able to hear more of those, you'll be able to look at more of those interfaces, to help you guide you in, your business aspirations and endeavors. I've been your host, Charles Bwogi, again. Have a good evening. Let's meet again Sunday, same time, same place. God bless.
NTV, turning on your world.
The entire population will put on fabric masks, which are good and very protective. When getting out your mask, you must ensure that you have sanitized or washed your hands with soap and water. Now, when you pick out your mask from the safe place, you hold the loops and you flip it over. Make sure your nose, your chin are properly covered. Do not share masks, and do not pick any mask that you find dropped on the way or anywhere in your surrounding. Avoid buying masks where people are allowed to try on and return.
This message